What should we do with this wall? Welcome back to my channel, my darling friends. If you are new here or visiting for the first time, welcome. It is so nice to meet you and I'm very glad to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Today we are going to be working on an empty wall that I have here in my studio. This wall, I framed it in, kind of created this really cool frame around it several years ago, and my intent was to display my watercolor art on that wall. However, I got a little tired of that and it just started to kind of look a little bit messy. Plus, I really needed some extra organizational space in my studio. So today, that's what we're going to jump into. We are going to spend some time working on this wall and see if we can't make it a little more functional and have some organization to it. So without further ado, let's head over to this blank wall in my studio and see what we can create. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to do before we just jump in and start hanging things and get myself into trouble is I want to start by first maybe drawing out a couple of designs, like a few design ideas on ways that I want to organize this wall. I have a few pieces. I've got some office like file organizers that I want to keep my printer paper in, and then just a few shelves that I would like to hang and maybe a few other organizational things. So I think the first course of action here is to sit down and start drawing some of these ideas out on paper. Okay, y'all, so I have got 4 designs here to choose from. And I'm going to have to do the process of elimination, I think, and eliminate these down to 2 and then 1. And that is always such a hard thing to do. So I think to make this process a little bit easier for me, I'm going to go ahead and choose between my 4 designs and then tape the 2 that I've chosen up on the wall and just see which ones I'm going to like the best. Okay, y'all, so I think I've narrowed it down to 1. I think I'm going to go with this design, except for that I might flip this to this side rather than having it. So I might put, because I have 2 organizer racks and they're not all going to fit inside the frame. So I'm gonna I decided not to hang anything over here, and I'll hang it over here on this spot off to the left of this or the right of that. And so I think this is the design we're gonna go with. So I'm gonna go out to the shop, grab some painter's tape, and I will be right back so we can start taping this off. Okay, y'all, so I've gone ahead and measured my first piece of tape to the length of my little organizer. And I'm just going to put it up here. I probably should move this out of my way so I can get a little closer to this. So the next thing is I've got a table sitting here. I don't think you can see it. This is where I keep my printer and stuff. So anyway, but okay, so now I've got this on here. And so now I just need to measure the height, and then we can go ahead and create the first box. And then I need to decide how far apart I want my shelves to be on this wall here. So y'all, this is the organizer box. So I've got 2 of these that are just like this one right here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and I've got the length measured for our first piece of tape on the wall, and I just need to measure the height. And then my other one that I have, let's see if I can get it. It's down here on the floor. if y'all can see the mess that I have in here right now. And so this is my other one. I mean, obviously I'm going to clean this out. And I know that they don't match, so that's why I'm a little hesitant to hang this one up here, but I don't know. We'll just kind of see. I might do, I don't know. I'm still trying to decide. You know how it is anytime you design a project like this, it's just a matter of, you know, playing and moving and shifting until you feel like you've got it just right. So we'll see how this goes. I may or may not end up hanging this one. Okay, y'all, so I've got the height measured, so I'm going to go ahead and tape this off, and I am trying to get these as straight as I possibly can. Okay, so now from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish taping off this entire wall, and then it'll give us somewhat of a visual of how everything is going to look all pieced together here. So let's go ahead and finish taping off this wall. Okay, y'all, so this did not go anywhere near as planned out as this design here. So this little frame that I have here on the wall is actually a little bit smaller than I thought that it was in my brain. Either that or my pieces are a little bigger than I thought. So anyway, I was only able to get, so on this one I've got the two here and then another one here. Well, I can't do that because they're not going to fit that way. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and taped this off for two organizer boxes, two shelves, and then a hanging rack. So right here will be an organizer, up here will be an organizer, and then we'll have a shelf, my hanging rack with the hooks, and then shelf. That was a little hard to point to when I'm looking at it this way. So, all right, let me just kind of show y'all what the pieces are that I want to hang here, and we'll go from here. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little nervous to start just hanging things up because I'm not totally convinced that I like this layout and this design. So what I might do is sit with it for just a little bit, kind of look at it a little and see how I'm feeling about it in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, so let me show you the pieces. Okay, so I showed you this. This is one of our organizer boxes that I'm gonna put like my printer paper and whatnot in. And then I have one of these racks. This is just one of those like an S hook rack that you hang the little S hooks from. And I thought this would be kind of fun so that I could hang like paintbrushes and whatnot from it. So we have that. And then these are the shelves that are gonna go up there. Oh, I didn't grab the brackets. Let me grab those in just a second so you can see the brackets too. So these are the shelves that I'm thinking. And Michael just cut these out from some scrap wood. And originally I was gonna paint these, but now I'm kind of thinking I might want to just go ahead and leave this the natural color wood, because I do have a lot of dark in this room, but I also have a lot of white in here. And I just thought if I leave the natural wood, it just gives us a natural element, plus the lighter wood color will add some contrast to the overall wall, because we've got this dark box, and I kind of like the contrast of these two together. Okay, so let me grab the brackets and I'll show those to you as well. Okay, so these are the brackets. So they hang on the wall like this. So this side goes flush with the wall, and then the shelf sits on top of these like that. So we've got the two little brackets. And so again, there's some black here, which these are kind of, I'm thinking are gonna kind of disappear a little bit on this wall. So, but that's another reason why I kind of wanted to leave the wood, the natural color. Okay, y'all, so I've spent a few minutes with this wall back here. I kind of held some of the pieces up to the wall, you know, the best I can with my two hands. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. I think this is gonna be the best layout. I kind of drew out a few other pieces or a few other designs. And honestly, I feel like this is the one I'm going to like the best, and the layout for the pieces that I have. So now we're gonna start hanging things, but this is the part that makes me so nervous. I get really nervous, and I don't like to put holes in my walls, but because there are no studs back here, I am going to have to use anchors, which we all know leave giant holes in the wall. But I'm going to go ahead and do it because they'll be hanging there for a really long time. Okay, y'all, so now I'm at the point where I can go ahead and start preparing the wall to hang all of our pieces on. So how I'm going to go about this, I'm going to level everything up really well, make sure everything's level, and then I'm going to mark where all the holes go. I'm going to mark them on the tape and before I do any drilling, because I just want to make sure one more time that this is the placement of how I want all of our pieces to be laid out on this wall. So again, this is why we use tape to pre-design a wall. Anytime you're doing a big wall like this or a gallery wall, it really is a good idea to use the tape because it helps you get a visual for how everything is going to look, but it also helps us to know if the pieces are going to fit in the space that we're wanting to put them in. So it's a good thing I did the tape before I just jumped in and started putting holes in the wall, because all the pieces from my design that I drew did not fit. So, okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start getting the wall ready to hang all of our pieces. Okay, y'all, so the other thing that I forgot to mention is that we do need to decide how far in on each piece of wood I want the brackets to come in. So the brackets will be hanging on the wall like this, and I've got to decide how far in on each shelf I want my brackets to be before I mark the pilot holes on this. I hope that made sense. I hope you kind of know where I was going with that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come in 2 inches from each edge on the shelf for the placement of the brackets. So I will go ahead and measure. Oh goodness, I need to get myself a new tape measure. So I'm going to go ahead and measure 2 inches in from this edge, 2 inches from this edge, and that should give us our perfect placement of for perfect placement for the shelves. Okay, so I got my 2-inch mark, so I'm just going to line this up with my straight line that's on the tape, which I know you can't see, but it is there. And I made sure it was level and everything before I did this. And so now we'll go ahead and start marking the placement for our brackets, making sure that we don't move anything and that it stays. Yep, so that we don't move anything and it stays perfectly in line with our straight line. This looks easier than it is, I think. Just holding this perfectly straight is the tricky part. Do is come back and mark these with a Sharpie marker so that they're more defined and that I can see them really well. Okay, y'all, so we've got all of our marks on the tape. Everything is looking level. So now I get to do the scariest part of all and actually start hanging all of our pieces here. And this is the part that makes me so nervous. I just feel like, oh my gosh, I second guess myself all the time. And you know, I wish Michael was here, but he'll be so proud of me that I did this by myself as long as we get everything straight and level. If we don't, we just won't let Michael see it. So, Okay, y'all, let's start getting our holes drilled and getting some of this stuff attached to our wall. Okay, are we ready to do this? Are y'all as nervous as I am? Oh my gosh, I'm nervous, but I've got all my tools and I'm ready to go. At least I hope I am. Wish me luck. Already, I forgot to take the tape off, so don't forget to do that. The first screw is in. Oh my gosh, my heart is just racing. This is so scary. Alrighty, y'all, we have everything hung now. All the pieces are hung on our little organizer wall, and it's looking really good. I didn't have too many issues hanging anything. I had this one shelf right there, right above my head. It was just a teeny bit off, but I was able to fix that just by angling the screw just a teeny tiny bit and kind of screwing the shelf in a little tighter to the wall bracket. And that leveled it right up. So no issues. It all went together great. We do have some little scuffs on the wall. There's a few scuffs. So I'm going to run out to the shop, get my black paint, and do a whole bunch of touch up. And I also want to paint all of the screws because I had to use silver screws with those specific anchors. So I want to paint all of the head part of the screw black. So that is what we're going to do next, and then we can move on to styling. Alrighty friends, so we got all of the touch-up paint done back there, and yeah, there's still some that's kind of wet, so it looks a little bit spotty right now. But, and I got all those silver screws painted too, but I think even though the paint is still just a smidge wet, we can go ahead and start styling because I'm excited and a little bit impatient and don't really want to wait for the paint to dry. So let's go style. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I think we have done it. We have successfully actually created an organizer wall. And oh my gosh, y'all, I am really, really loving this. I love how I've been able to take some of my supplies that I use on the daily basis, and I've made them more easily accessible for me. And I love that it's functional and decorative at the same time. So I think we did a really good job blending form and function. As I've been looking at it though and kind of just living with it for a minute, I am contemplating, should I stain the shelves, or is that natural wood a good contrast? Y'all, let me know your thoughts and your ideas in the comments down below. Alrighty friends, well, I think that is going to wrap up our projects for today. This has been a lot of fun. I'm really loving the wall. I think it's great. And these past couple of weeks have been a lot of fun. I've had a good time creating some DIY projects just for my home, just kind of all about. We've created some perpetual clocks. I feel like we've kicked off the 2024 year pretty good so far. The perpetual clocks, or not clocks, but calendars are really cool. I'm loving them. We made some coffee tables last week, and then today we have made an organizer wall for my studio. And this has just been good. It's been a nice way to just refresh my home from, post holidays. Because you know what it's like, you take all the holiday stuff down and then your house just feels pretty empty. That's what it was like for me. And so, but I decided to just take the opportunity to use that as a blank canvas and just kind of refresh some of the areas in my home. So that's what we've been up to the past couple of weeks. I hope y'all have enjoyed this and that I have somehow inspired you to get out and do some DIYing for yourself. Okay friends, so next week we're going to jump into some fun Valentine's crafty projects, and I'm really looking forward to that. So y'all come back and see me again next week. Until then, y'all take care, and I will see you soon. Bye!